What I try to get my kids to is a point where they are independent thinkers and problem solvers. This year I keep telling them, I want a group of students that if we're stuck on a deserted island, I want you to be able to help get me off and not offer me suggestions like, well, just use your cell phone, Mrs. Carrender. So I want them to become really independent thinkers. They know that I expect their input. They know that if I ask them a question, I'm going to wait them out for an answer. I hope that they feel safe with me, because in here a lot of times it's not about getting the right answer or the answer that Mrs. Carrender wants. It's about being able to defend your answer and prove why you're thinking the way you are. And the right answer is basically inconsequential.
So you're teaching critical thinking skills, right?
Yes, that's what life really is about. You should be confident in your answer. I tell one teacher, that I'm standing up on the mountain, putting my hand out, saying, come on, grab my hand and I'll help you. But as soon as they get close to my hand, I keep moving it back, saying, come on, you're almost there. And then they've reached the top of the mountain on their own. And there's nothing more satisfying than to see a child realize, wow, I can do this myself, and then want to do it themselves. I get excited about them being here. A lot of people think I'm real strict or I'm mean until they get into the class, and then they realize, she's not that bad. I am structured, and there is a certain way in which you work around in this room, but then once you know those parameters, you are pretty much free to come and go. The kids know that I will listen to them. The kids know that they can disagree with me. Just because you have choice doesn't mean you have the choice not to do something. That's not what life is about. But you can choose how you're going to do it, where you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, so you have some of that freedom. My fourth graders this year are watching what the fifth graders are doing and know that that is coming for them. The fifth graders can look back and see what they did as fourth graders or where they were. They can offer great advice. They can also help. There are some of those rites of passage, but then we're all just one group. I rarely break things down as fourth and fifth graders. At one point, it looked like I would have a whole lot of AIG students. And I told my principal, I don't want just one kind of student. I want a range because, my higher students help pull up my lower students. But then my students who might struggle academically have something to teach my higher academic students. So there is that give and take. And it really helps the students in the future to know how to deal with a diverse group of people and feel part of that diverse group of people, because that's the other thing that I try to do in here is have this sense of beyond community but also family. This is your school family, and we're going to treat each other as brothers and sisters. I love each and every one of them. I have the mind of a teacher but the heart of a mother, and so I really can see the specialness of each child. But then there are some that just really tickle me, and we're kind of on the same wavelength. Aiden, Lucy is another one. Sigrid, we got to where we're flowing very well together this year. Jalen has a great sense of humor. Eric Moda, he's really grown up. Miguel, he's one where he was sent to me a couple of times last year by his teacher to sit up in Mrs. Carrender's room. And I told him when he left, I said, I'm going to tell you this right now. I see that you're a smart boy, and I'm going to make sure you are in my room next year. Because I want to spark that they do have value, that they do have something to share, and I am willing to stand on my head to drag it out of you. I love teaching math because I want to make the students not have this rote memory back and forth, but I really want them to understand the math theory behind it. We call them mathemagicians in here, and their minds just take it in. I'm just trying to get the kids to break it down and see how neat numbers are. If you're doing what you're supposed to do in here every day and you're becoming independent thinkers, the test should just be a mere irritation to you because it's going to take up class time to do it. That's not always the case, but trying to build their confidence. More test their stamina. And so I've seen students work really hard for the first part of the test and then they run out of steam. I had no idea that they had named the fish Captain Bob. I mean, we had the big deal with naming the mouse, the big deal with naming the bird, and I guess a group of them had just gotten together and decided that they were going to name the fish Captain Bob. So they just enjoy doing that kind of thing with each other. They are engaged, and they're a fun class. It is a really nice class to come into every day. They seem to like each other, they like me, I like them. They feel comfortable in here, and it does have that kind of homey feel to it. I love Watts. I grew up on Monmouth Avenue, one block over. And so I came here only as a sixth grader, and I have worked in many different phases of Watts' character, but we've always had this really dedicated staff who just really care about the kids, who really want to be here. And this is just home.